The story begins with a wealthy man who had two sons. The younger son approaches his father and asks for his share of the inheritance, essentially wishing his father were dead so he could claim his portion. Surprisingly, the father agrees and divides his property between his two sons. The younger son then sets off for a distant land and begins to squander his inheritance in wild living. He lives recklessly, indulging in all sorts of excesses, until he has nothing left. Soon, a famine strikes the land, and the young man finds himself in dire straits. He is forced to take a job feeding pigs, a task that would have been considered utterly demeaning for a Jewish man. As he struggles to survive, he reflects on his situation and realizes the foolishness of his actions. He decides to return to his father, not expecting forgiveness but hoping to at least be treated as one of his father's hired servants. When the father sees his son returning from afar, he is overwhelmed with compassion and runs out to greet him. Instead of scolding or rejecting him, the father embraces his lost son and orders his servants to prepare a feast to celebrate his return. He clothes him in the finest robe, puts a ring on his finger, and sandals on his feet, symbolizing his restoration to the family. Meanwhile, the older son, who had remained faithful and obedient to his father, is working in the fields. When he hears about the celebration, he becomes angry and refuses to join in. He feels that his father's treatment of his younger brother is unfair, considering how the prodigal son had squandered his inheritance. The father goes out to meet his older son and pleads with him to join the festivities. He explains that they should rejoice because his lost son has been found, and there is cause for celebration and reconciliation. The parable highlights the significance of forgiveness and love, as the father celebrates the resurrection of his brother, who was once lost but is now alive. This story teaches us about the unconditional love and forgiveness of God, who eagerly welcomes back those who repent and return to him, regardless of their past mistakes and transgressions. It also serves as a reminder of the dangers of pride and self-righteousness, urging us to cultivate compassion and empathy towards others.